The flight termination system, just to give you a quick explainer, every rocket has a flight termination system. It's the system that the Eastern Range here uses in order to send a destruct signal to a rocket in case it veers off path. So it's a very critical, important safety component. The bottom line of all this is, at this moment, the range is no-go. But that is not stopping us from moving forward in the countdown. We can continue to process and work the countdown. The closeout crew will continue to do their work, and the launch team will continue to do their work as well. We're just getting an update, in fact, about what I was about to report out on the range, and the good news is the range is go.
As we see now, live inside of the White Room, at the launch pad, the closeout crew has closed the launch abort system hatch. You saw there, we took it live. Took a lot of them, I think all of them, except for one. I think it took all 3 or 4 of them to push that hatch door close, and then they felt around the perimeter of the door to make sure that everything was sitting just right.
We currently are hearing the launch team is working an issue. There's an issue apparently with a battery on the LAS. The engineer who is in charge of the launch abort system sits on console here, reported that a temperature for one of the 2 LAS batteries is out of range, and although it's not a constraint for launch right now, it would be when that temperature is checked inside of T-minus 6 minutes, which is inside of terminal count. So right now the team is working some troubleshooting on this issue. Going to follow, of course, along closely with what they learn. But again, the battery temp for one of the 2 batteries on the LAS is working to understand whether or not this may be a sensor issue, or is there an issue with the battery itself.
For one big NASA fan, we launched tonight. Okay, guys.
All right, thank you, Megan and Nicole, and just want to give you an update on the launch abort system that you just reported that they cleared. They believe, they're convinced this is an instrumentation failure. So there are 2 batteries on the LAS. The LAS, of course, and with the help of his model rocket, Daniel said I could use this, so it's okay. The LAS is right here. It's the tower above Orion. Orion capsule's inside of here. It's used to pull Orion off the rocket in case the rocket something's going on with the rocket, either on the pad or in flight. 2 batteries are bad. Well, I'm sorry, one of the 2 batteries reported an out-of-family temperature, and it was very much out of family. And so they checked their data going back into the vehicle assembly building where they recharged the batteries and worked on them, and they have good, solid data, they reported, that tells them that this is an instrumentation failure. There's something wrong with the sensor. And so to accept the risk, any changes to launch commit criteria, which this would be one, and they all fully accepted it. So now we are clear as far as that constraint is concerned.
NTD COSE hold requested.
Copy that.
I have an LCC violation of O-CT-004, S-band transponder anomaly. This was a transient LCC violation, so transponder 1 had a demodulated SNR estimate that went down to 2 dBm when it should have been between 10 and 13. It is now back up to 12, but we did lose that for just a moment. It does not appear that we lost our bit sync or carrier lock, which would be indicative that we lost our lock with the vehicle. So at this point, recommendation would still be go. However, we do have a pre-planned contingency procedure if we want to look at that. But
like that was a single sample.
Yeah, copy that. RFTS does report that they also lost lock for about 5 seconds. So I would love to ask KUS and see if they also lost lock with the vehicle for any extended amount of period.
Yeah, so from our perspective, the allowance is effectively up to 30 seconds, up to 3 samples based on a 1/10 hertz. This is not an LCC violation, I believe.
Yes, sir. I would agree with that at this point. Copy that.
We'll check in with KUS on 232. I don't think they have 212 access. We're trying to verify, but it sounds like they have a loss of lock as well. 2 seconds.
Okay. And I guess for both KUS and COSE, do we have lock now?
That's affirmed. We do have lock for COSE.
Yeah, so from the integration console perspective, we did have a temporary loss there within the allowable and further requirement. Let's go.
It is Houston Flight. We have lock and we have good telemetry here at Jesse.
And KUS is reported to they have good lock now. So with all of that, OSC, then are we in a go configuration for your LCC?
Yes, sir. Recommendation would be go.
LPE go.
Yes, sir. LPE concurs go.
And launch director.
Yes, sir. Launch director concurs go.
All right. And for all personnel, this is the NTD conducting the Artemis II launch.
Attention on the net. This is the launch director performing the final poll for launch, verifying no constraints, and go for launch. EGS, Program Chief Engineer.
All the chief engineers are go.
Copy, thank you. EGS, Chief Safety Officer.
Artemis CSOs are go.
Copy, thank you. Range weather.
Launch weather is go.
Thank you, LWO. And Artemis MMT Chair.
MMT's go.
Thank you, John. And Integrity Launch Director.
And here was Charlie PLT. Thank you, Charlie. This is Victor. We are going for our families. FF1.
This is Christina. We are going for our TDNA.
FF2. This is Jeremy. We are going for all humanity. Our Artemis II crew is go for launch. Full set.
I copy that. Reid, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy. On this historic mission, you take with you the heart of this Artemis team, the daring spirit of the American people and our partners across the globe, and the hopes and dreams of a new generation. Good luck. Godspeed, Artemis II. Let's go. Sir, you have a go to proceed with countdown.
Copy that. I'll put it in work. CDR, NTD.
Go.
Your risers and initiate short purge for your EPOC 10.1.1, steps 8 and 9.
10.1.1, 8, 9, go anywhere.
Copy. CBSE and start and verify recordings of our Orion cameras.
You heard an issue, worked in real time with telemetry lock on the Orion. It was transitory, it's very short. They checked the data, confirmed that they have a good lock. This was with the S-band transmitter on the Orion. Worked through that issue, looked at the data, and cleared it. All with the world watching.
we're clear from cutouts. And with that, we're going to resume the clock momentarily. And CGLS, you can resume the clock on your mark.
GLS copies. 3, 2, 1, mark. GLS mainline has been initiated.
T-minus 10 minutes and counting.
And that begins terminal count. Our new T0 is 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time. 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time. We are now counting down to liftoff of Artemis. sideways maneuver from the main engine.
Integrity, good PLM, and 1 minute to teeter standover.
With the regain of comm, we're starting to get some views aboard the Orion spacecraft.
Integrity Houston, voice check on Tigris.
Loud and clear. Stand high on us.
And we now have you the same. Good to hear your voice.
In the meantime, mission specialist Christina Koch working on the activation of some environmental control life support systems and waste management systems. Currently, as teams on the ground analyze some troubleshooting of the activations.
For the first time since they arrived in space, you're looking at a live view of the Artemis II space network. Now, we're used to people being on near space network, the tracking data relay satellite system with the International Space Station. But again, we're kind of getting used to even have crews traveling far enough to be on that deep space network. This view inside Orion. This is the view from This is the view arrow. The docking camera is showing the crew inside Orion.
Much quieter. Sound a little rumbling like we're driving on a rocky road, but it's much quieter than in the sim.
Integrity, no action for you on that enabled pod crossing.
Bit of ICPS, did you see that pulled off the screen in review? 0.8 degrees wide. Quite large. I'm going to course. 0.9 degrees. 1 degree wide. Here comes 6 knots. 1, 2, 3, 8 down.
Great view of the ICPS that powered Orion during the perigee raise maneuver and apogee raise burn.
Ya değildir ya, bakalım neyse. Şeyden sonra bakalım. Başka zaman bakalım. Sağ ol. Geldin mi?
Great job, Victor, and to the entire crew. We
Yeah,
enjoyed your
very
excitement at seeing ICPS out the window. Proximity operations complete and the upper stage separation burn complete as well. We are now looking to the ICPS or cryogenic propulsion stage disposal burn. We will not see this or get data on it. It will burn up upon re-entry over Earth's atmosphere over the Pacific Ocean. It actually looks like a crescent Earth there in the background. This view coming from one of the solar array wing cameras aboard Orion.
Aynen.
Welcome back to our live coverage of the Artemis II mission here at the Johnson Space Center. I'm Nilüfer Ramji, and I am your Orbit 3 commentator. So as we continue to track the progress of the Orion spacecraft on its journey around the moon, we're in a relatively quiet phase of the mission, giving us a great opportunity to take a closer look at the work that's happening behind the scenes. So joining us now is Michelle Zahner. Michelle is the Orion Vehicle Systems and Performance and Analysis Manager. Welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining us. So tell us a little bit about your role with the mission.
Yeah, during the mission, I am a MER manager, so that's the mission evaluation room. It's basically the team of engineers that provide the reach-back support to the flight control team. So these are the engineers that have followed the vehicle from design through build and testing, and provide that expert level of reach-back support if we have any issues or hiccups during the mission.
That's great. So tell us a little bit about what we're going to see ahead for today.
Yeah, so right, flight day 1 was a packed day. The crew took basically a nap and then had to wake up and do the perigee raise burn. That was completed successfully not too long ago. That put Orion in a safe high Earth orbit. They went back to sleep after that, and soon they'll be waking up, and the big event for the day is the translunar injection burn.
So translunar injection, we talked a little bit about that earlier over the course of our continuous coverage, but tell us again or explain to us what TLI is.
Yeah, so TLI, the translunar injection burn, is the last major burn of the mission, which is kind of surprising because it's on flight day 2, but it puts Orion on a free return trajectory to the moon. So it is a large burn using the OMS engine. It's a 6,000-pound thrust engine on the back of the vehicle on the European service module. And that burn, again, puts us on a trajectory to fly by the moon and puts puts us on that return trajectory to come home afterwards.
And what determines that go-no-go call for TLI?
So the no-go call for TLI is all about redundancy. Right now, when we're in this high Earth orbit, the crew can get home relatively quickly if we were to do an abort. Once we do the translunar injection burn, it's days before they can get home. So we really want to make sure that the vehicle is healthy, that we have redundancy in all of our critical systems, so that we can get the crew home safely if anything were to go wrong.
We've heard you say redundancy a couple of times. Can you explain to our audience what a redundancy is?
Yeah, so redundancy is fault tolerance, or making sure that you have at least two legs of any critical function, so that if you were to lose one of the legs, you still have a fallback option. So for example, if you're thinking about the propulsion system, we have two engines that are capable of doing large burns. One is the Ohm's engine that we'll use on TLI. The other are aux thrusters. So we want to make sure both of those are healthy before we do the TLI burn, so that if we were to lose one, we would still be able to return the crew home safely.
Excellent. So today's GONE is going to conduct for TLI essentially confirms that the main system, as well as its backup or its redundancy, are both in good shape to get the crew around the moon and back home.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Excellent. And are there any other burns that are required to ensure that the spacecraft stays on target for its journey around the moon?
Yes, there are. So on the outbound leg to the moon, there's 3 outbound trajectory correction burns. And then once we fly by the backside of the moon, when we're coming home, there's also 3 return trajectory correction burns. So those are smaller burns that are used to just take out perturbations in the trajectory that were caused by bending from the environmental control system, for example.
So little tiny tweaks to just make sure we're on the right path.
Correct, exactly.
Excellent. So tell me a little bit, Michelle, how are you feeling?
I feel great. It was so amazing to see the launch yesterday. It was an incredible feeling to watch everything go so smoothly. We are all very excited to be working this mission and have the opportunity to learn as much as we can about the spacecraft over the next 10 days. And it is so awesome to have crew on board and to hear their voices throughout the mission.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being on the air with us today. We look forward to hearing from you a little bit more, and hopefully we are go for TLI today to get us around the moon and back home.
Yes.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.
And if you continue to follow along with us for our continuous coverage today, we will be on 24/7 for the remainder of the mission. This is Mission Control Houston. We will go back to flight views and watch as Orion is 38,000 miles and counting away from Earth, and about 233,000 miles, 100,000 miles away from the moon. This is Mission Control Houston.
Good afternoon. If you're just joining us, this is Mission. Good afternoon. If you're just joining us, this is Mission Control Houston in the Artemis Flight Control Room here at the Johnson Space Center. At a mission elapsed time of 18 hours and 28 minutes and counting, we are coming to you live.